I just come in there and look for knockouts, and that's not the case. I'm actually a sharp, smart fighter.
So, well, I'm here. Who wanted to fight me?
I really don't care who's in front of me. I don't feel like no fighter can beat me.
Our goal is to demolish everybody, to be honest. Everybody that's in my way. The pinnacle to any weight division is to have all of the belts, all of the titles.
Welcome to Bodywork. Welcome back. It's Michael Rogers. Welcome to Bodywork Boxing. It feels so good to be back. Another Saturday night. The results came back from the lab, man. Results came back from the lab, and we gotta go. It takes a couple of days when you send things off to the lab. It take a couple of days to get back. Almost like that Ryan Garcia test sample. But the results came back, man. Lab test confirmed Shakur Stevenson 100%. It had fibers of a duck. Ling. Oh man, and we in a state now where a lot of people are not going to really keep it 100 on the situation. You got some diehard OnlyFans who they're part of a tribe and they're going to stick to a code, but yet they want to be talking boxing all day, every day. It's like, okay, well, we know you're sticking to the code and you're part of the tribe, and you're going to push whatever agenda it is that you need. But I thought, before I actually get down to the nitty gritty and break this down, I thought that I had to go back to what I was on earlier, because I truly believe that a lot of the people that was around and supporting DHP, I'm pretty sure that most of them have converted over to being Shakur Stevenson fans, right? It was a couple people. It was a couple of the fan bases. I would say like myself, who would have preferred a Shakur Stevenson over Devin Haney. But we always had Tank over both of them, and me myself, I had Shakur over Devin, but then I had Tank over Shakur. And I always thought Tank, would do his thing over Devin as well. So I said that, until proven otherwise, man, I got Tank. I've been one of the ones that, I fell out with a lot of other content creators. I fell out with a lot of people who we were cool at first, but I called they bullshit early on in the game. And a lot of them have since, converted over to being Tank fans. Some of them, they actually wear knee pads now. You would actually think that they weren't on the side of Devin Haney at one point in time. Like, we didn't have that fallout. Like, we were not talking about that. Like, I did not open up some eyes and give some examples about what was going on at the current time. But they're flip-flop. And we're in the era now where on YouTube, man, you can be just like Brett Favre. You can go in the game and you can throw 3 interceptions, but you got to have a short-term memory. Why? Because you got to come back and throw 5 touchdowns. So a lot of these guys, they have that type mentality where, they can flip-flop. They can be on one side today and then another side tomorrow. They can be, this standard can be acceptable today. And then that same standard, when it comes down to a guy that they prefer or like or have an affiliation with, then that standard is no longer valid. So I thought that we needed to go back into the curriculum of the bread and circuses, because I believe that a lot of the Shakur Stevenson fans haven't heard it. Devin Haney fans did an episode on the first of the year saying that Devin Haney fans were the most toxic fans in boxing. and I had a top 5 list, and by June, it was confirmed on multiple channels everywhere. Everybody was saying he need to sit down, get himself together. It's too much. If you listen to the everything surrounding it now, that's the climate and how they think. Even though I think he cooled off a little bit, he's been in the media lately, but I believe that a lot of the things that Shakur is doing now are things that pretty much help Devin become a name. But my warning to that was that it only really increased everything online. So it's different. YouTube boxing talk versus what's really going on out there in the boxing world is two different things, because you can play how you want in this interview. An hour later, you can say this on that interview. You could just flip flop. So I had already called, you know what I had called the whole spectacle, the calibration of the Barclays Center when they decided to put Ryan and Devin on that side. I was calling it the circus, you know, and that's when I was really on my curriculum about bread and circuses. So I said, man, maybe I need to go back and revisit some of these things about bread and circuses and how this thing really works. So I'm gonna get into that, and then I'm gonna start breaking down, you know, what the lab results have confirmed. Rome's rulers deliberately kept the populace in a complacent and inert state by continually plying them with handouts of free food and lavish, violent shows. This concept is usually expressed in shorthand by the expression bread and circuses, or occasionally in the original Latin version, panem et circenses. It's a noun, something as extravagant entertainment offered as an expedient means of pacifying discontent or diverting attention from a source of grievance. So that's what's going on right now. It's a lot of people that are trying to divert the attention. They're trying to make rules. They're trying to readjust standards based on the situation that's happening. And I'm like, no, see, this is what we have, like, because when I get into it and I look at it, because now everybody just rightfully saying, okay, well, who is the guy on the right gonna face now? And I'm like, hold on. Don't move. Let's not divert no attention right now. Let's not divert no attention right now unless we're gonna do it right. But conveniently, everybody wants to switch the crosshairs over to the guy on the right, where you don't really want to fully address the guy on the left. You don't really want to fully talk about that. So I'm gonna have to break it down. His twin, salute Bodywork, salute his twin, salute, appreciate you, first one in the building. But let's look at something, and we're gonna break it down. And we're gonna take our time with it. But what we're getting is an extravagant bread and circuses. That's what we're getting surrounding Shakur. And what's the full quote? Give them bread and circuses, and they will never revolt. So, like, basically, as long as we give them bread and circuses, so yeah, give them some bread, which is bread, basically manna, which is a little bit of sustenance, and then give them circus, a spectacle, something to watch. That's entertainment. So that's the entertainment side of the boxing. But the hardcore know that it needs to be a little bit better than that. Sometimes we kind of just a little bit tired of just you having something and you putting on and you putting two people in the ring, and we're just saying, it was cool to be entertained. Because it's funny how the guy on the right, it has to be everybody has to be very particular about who he has to get in the ring with. But the guy on the left can get in there with anybody, and his art is supposed to be appreciated. You don't know anything about boxing if you don't like the performance. If you say anything, you're a hater. And this is being co-signed by people who actually are Hall of Famers. Yikes. This guy's being pacified by people that are Hall of Famers. And I said, man, maybe some of these guys are trying to live vicariously through you. Maybe these guys, these Hall of Famers, maybe they're telling you some of these things and they're making you go this way and they're having you move this way, because at the end of the day, if they can go back and get back in your shoes, they would do what they're telling you to do right now. But we got to put it on the scale. We got to respect that you're taking, knowledge from a veteran, and it's your career, and you are the one getting hit in the head. I'm a fan. I understand. That's why I try to defend. I try to point out rights. I try to, get people back on the track. I try to get people to focus on what's going on. That's why I say it's the pulse of boxing, because at any point in time, given any situation, I believe that I can give you a pretty much thorough analysis of what's going on. Right? But this is fruits and veggies, not them Reggies. A lot of these things don't be having the congregation jumping for joy. I know. But at the same time, this is a stake in the ground conversation. See, I drop timepieces to where I can go back and look at a timepiece and be people, because people love to take credit for this and take credit for that. But what people really do, they keep track of people who they don't think people are watching. They put out information, or they just flip-flop. They flip-flop. You can flip-flop, and then you can go back and you can grab from the past and then piece everything together. That's a method that's starting to become more and more popular. But the thing is, man, what can never be denied is when people are doing things in real time. See, a lot of things that I be saying on the channel, they're gonna be popular in real time. But let some time go by. Let it age a little bit. It stands true. And that's why I don't have to flip and flop and change how I look and how I view everything, because every time it comes down, I judge it, not based on the interest, not based on the guy I would want to win, or not based on the guy I would want to get him paid, would want to get paid. Why? Because I want them all to get paid. When I look at these two on the screen, I don't care who's really getting all the money. I'm not going to deny the business side. I don't care who's getting the bigger bag. I don't care that's not me. I want them all to get paid. I want them all to have longevity. I want them all to win. I want them all to grow and be able to support their family and leave with all their faculties in order. That's me, though. But what we're not going to do is we're not going to allow certain behavior to actually go on, and we're not going to give an account or have a stake in the ground of a situation, a time where somebody wasn't really breaking it down and showing you exactly what's going on in all these double standards. So my thing is to do a video, and even if you don't agree with what I say, you're going to have to at least walk away thinking about what's going on. And then I'm going to challenge your standard, because a lot of people, they don't care. They just want to be able to get on there, spew their hatred, spew their disdain, spew whatever it is, because they can't get it off at home. They want to get it online. And I'm like, man, that's not the appropriate place to do that, young man. Have some dignity. Take those knee pads off. They almost ingrained in your skin now. It's like you gotta have them on all the time. What's in that man bag you carrying? Is that throat coat? You got an extra set of knee pads in there? You got some tonsil jewelry? How many sets of tonsil jewelry you got? Stop it. It's like we gotta stop it, man, because stuff is happening right before our eyes, and because it's somebody that we actually like, we act like we don't see what's going on. But with no further ado, let me go into this. Let me start presenting. Let me start presenting here. Let me pull this out. Let me let you know I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Yes, this is. If you're in here, if you're in here watching, but you feel like you want to comment and you don't want people to know who you are, this is burner account friendly. Okay? All I ask, that's all I ask, man. You know, I know it's not popular. It's like, again, I think I told you all the other day that this is not the Nile River. I don't aim to be the Nile River. You know what I'm saying? I said the Nile River allowed a lot of people to flourish. It fed, it sustained, but it also fucked up a lot of people. So I'm not here to be one of those kind of, this is more like a watering hole. This is more like a place where if you want to figure out, how novelty stores be, like when you go to a certain spot and like how everything is online and everything is like it's just made to order, it's fresh, you can just get it, like you can click on it, you can get it right now. This is not one of those. This is more like that bookstore. Like whenever you go to that city, you go to that bookstore, you can get something for healing. You can get something about your true history. You can get something about some kind of science. Anything you want to dibble and dabble with. But it's a place where you actually have to go in, where they still have physical hard copy books. That's what this is. This is not. You can't microwave this. This takes time. I want to let y'all know I'm here. So I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna start presenting. This is the first interview now that I'm gonna go into to break this down.
Like, you feel me? But I'm a real nigga. I'm gonna go out there and say, like, it was good work. It was a chess match. It was like, I ain't gonna say that I beat the shit out of Tank. I ain't gonna say, but it was a chess match, bro. It was good work. Like, I ain't gonna lie to y'all though.
It was a chess match. It was good work. I ain't gonna lie to y'all.
Now he recently said yesterday that,
and hold on, I forgot. I know how YouTube is. And I would never, that's say cheese now. I'm not taking no credit for this. That's say cheese. That's his. I don't claim to own it. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is just fair use. This is just for educational purposes. Trying to support the guys that we like. Trying to make sense of the things that they're doing. That's all this is. So I'm not stealing anybody's thunder. I don't bite people's shit. I don't steal. I come up with my own shit. My own ideas. I'm a critical thinker. Sometimes it keeps me on the outside, but hey, I don't have to change. That's all that is. I'm not, listen, give them all the credit. I'll give them all the credit, but let's go.
that he wants to fight you next. He says you talk too much. He says that your defense isn't that good. You don't really slip punches. You just go backwards. He said a lot, man. Y'all been going back and forth so
look at Shakur. See, to hear somebody else remind him of what Tank said, right? It pissed him off. When you got a competitive nature, it pissed you off. That's natural. So he said your defense ain't this. You don't really slip punches. You talk too much. Some of these things, is if you put it up on a scale and you're just not going to just, open up and say for everything your favorite fighter says, then you actually have to consider, like, okay, well, if Tank said these things, do we have a right to be offended? You can say, yeah, but those guys are the guys in there, getting hit in the head. So however he take it is how he take it. So this guy's bringing that up. And look at Shakur. He looking like, man, come on now. Like, he looked, all right, now listen.
Since the Ryan Garcia fight.
I'm saying though, like, how many times he got to say he gonna fight an elite fighter and never fight him? He 30 years old now. Like, what we talking about? Like, bro, 30 talking about he gonna fight me. Yo, when you...
He's 30 years old, and he's saying, when is he gonna fight an elite fighter now?
You gonna fight me? He say next. Okay, well then do it, nigga. I'm right here. All you gotta do is send an offer, reach out.
Oh, what'd he say?
Out, nigga. Is no.
What he said he had to do?
Then do it, nigga. I'm right here. All you gotta do is send an offer, reach out, nigga.
All you gotta do is send the offer. Then he ended it by reach out. So we got word that Tank's team reached out. Now only an OnlyFan would deny that he actually reached out. They pushing the envelope to say why he ain't send no contract. It's like, whoa, Kimo Sabe. This man just said all he had to do was reach out. I'm right here. You said you're gonna do it next. All you gotta do is send the offer, reach out. We got confirmation that he reached out. If you still, I'm not gonna sit up there and argue. So when I put the link out and give people their time to actually come up and get my mind right, you know what I'm saying? Like, help me understand. Like, I want us to understand that if you're still gonna be arguing the fact that, where's the contract? Don't even get up there. Don't even click the link. Don't even try to waste your time going around and around to land on why Tank ain't sent no contract. This man said, "Oh, let's do it next. Let's do it then. I'm right here." That's what he said at that point in time. After this fight, I'm right here. All you gotta do is reach out. Send an offer, reach out. And we know people don't just send offers.
There's nothing stopping it, bro. You the A side, I know. I'm not saying that I'm the A side. You the nigga with all the notoriety, all the however it go. I'm right here though.
So he gave Tank his credit. You the one with all the notoriety. You the A side. You all this and this and that. This is right after he said all you got to do send the offer, reach out. Let's do it. How many times you gonna say you gonna fight somebody that's elite and then don't fight them? Okay, we tracking.
Not going nowhere. Soon as you say let's fight, I'm right here. Let's fight.
I'm not going nowhere. I'm not going nowhere.
But he'll tell y'all 100 times, oh, I want to fight this person. I'm going to beat your ass next. So I'm going to do this to you and send out threats and all that shit. But it's like, come on now, nigga. Somebody call you. But it's like, come on now, nigga. Like, you saying you want to fight me, but is you really going to fight me? Or you going to just keep saying what you going to do to somebody or talking about it, bro? Shut up and fight me, nigga. If that's the case, fight me. That's it.
So what about Frank Martin? Do you feel like he's elite?
No. Like, come on, bro. What did Frank Martin do to be elite? Like, who have he beaten? Who is like, and there's no disrespect. He fought the nigga that I'm fighting my next fight, right?
Right.
They fought each other in their last fight.
Mm-hmm.
That's his toughest opponent. That dude gave him the hardest time ever. I'm fighting that dude July 6th. I'm going there and cook him. And I'm going in there to cook him. But Frank Martin is not like no elite fighter. Frank Martin is a dude that signed up to fight me, got famous for signing up to fight me, and then not fighting me. That's what he got famous. That's what he's famous for. Literally, when they said Shakur versus Frank Martin was gonna fight, bro, this nigga name done blew up. And now we up here like we gonna fight each other. Then he backed out the fight.
Why'd he back out?
You gotta ask him. He said it wasn't enough money. But we digged into like how much money he was making, and the money was quadruple of what he ever made. So the money that he got offered to fight me, right? It was, I want to say, $1 million. The money that he made before that was $250,000. That was his highest paycheck. So you going from 250 to 1M, and you telling me that's not enough money. And I'm not making no more than what the fuck I was making my fight before that. I was gonna make the same amount of money that I made against Yoshino for Frank Martin, and the same amount of money that I made with the Edwin De Los Santos fight, I was gonna make for Frank Martin. So, you gotta ask him. He gotta explain that bullshit.
So it's kind of interesting that I think he doubled down on what a lot of people didn't realize. Like, this was like the same type deal that Bud had for a period of time. And I hate doing this. I hate having to talk about the numbers, but like, people get online and that's all they want to talk about. And I really want to talk about the stuff that's going on inside the ring, but they keep getting caught up on numbers. But you can fact check me if you want. You can go back and look, you can whatever. But like, Bud was getting about 6. He's getting about 6, no matter who it was getting inside the ring. And what's proof of that is that interview that Andre Ward just did. Andre Ward just did an interview. And he was talking to Eddie. And he was basically saying, like, because they got offered to the promoting and this and this and that. But like, basically, if you worth that, Andre Ward basically saying, look, man, the fact that I'm not, it don't sell or promote, with all due respect, that's not my problem. So they'll take that kind of stance. Like, that's not their problem. They just want their chips with dip, which I understand. They have a right to do that. So you got to understand that Shakur Stevenson, he was saying I was going to get the same amount. I guess that's that cool 3, which is decent, like, which is great. Like, man, look, regardless who they put in there, he was getting 3. So the boxer knew that. So with that kind of mindset, is like, why would you go be looking for the Incredible Hulk if you could fight Mighty Mouse instead of the Incredible Hulk and you're getting the same thing? Why wouldn't you? But let's continue. Let's continue. It's just food for thought, y'all. Let's continue.
I know it's bullshit though.
Yeah. So you think Tank washes you think he washes Frank Martin?
I mean, that's why he fighting him. He's picking and choosing. That's what he do. Tank take the least risk. If Tank was really a risky nigga, or this person he claimed.
So when Tank was fighting him, he was picking and choosing. But he was mad at Tank for fighting Frank. That contradicts itself right there. He's weak. So why were you fighting him? Because you thought he was weak? So it's okay. See, this is the other thing. When you in love with a fighter and you gobble up everything that they say or do, you do this. You accept this kind of philosophy. So you gotta understand, at that point in time, you're part of a cult, my guy. Like, if your guy can say and do this, because Frank, how is Frank weak? And see, Devin, this is how I think that a lot of this comes from the spirit of the Devin Haney fans who done jumped on the Shakur fans. And I think Shakur, he be on social media enough to where he be listening to a lot of people. And I think that he has embraced this as well. It's the say as I do, not as I say, whatever. Like, so if Frank was good enough for him and he was valuable, because what they'll do is they'll go back to, well, look how many people said no. Aside from all that, if you land to where, okay, it's cool for you to be able to fight him, and everybody had energy to see that fight, and he don't fight you to the point to where people say, oh man, well, yeah, Frank did duck Shakur. That is a fact. Like, that's a fact. Like, if you do that, like, now in hindsight, by getting the tank fight, that make it look better. A lot of people will say, okay, bigger fight, better number, so that cancels out. So it's not really something to argue about. But in a vacuum, Frank did duck Shakur. But how was it acceptable in Shakur's mind that it was okay for Shakur to fight Frank, but then when Frank's fight Tank, he's picking and choosing. He's being selective. See, these guys, this be the pot calling the kettle black.
Claimed to be, he would have fought Edwin De Los Santos. Why not fight the nigga that actually fought me instead of the nigga that pulled out from fighting me?
So by Shakur's mentality is, Edwin De Los Santos lost. So Tank should go fight Edwin De Los Santos because Shakur beat Edwin De Los Santos. But that's not no bodyguard behavior. And you're not the A side. So who are you to tell anybody, since people be claiming the A side? But really, you were at the mercy of the fight getting on and popping. You done said it. Everybody know that it's the Cold War. You done said what was going on. But now you telling Tank to go fight Edwin. Make it make sense. Edwin lost. I mean, in a vacuum, Tank, a lot of people want to see Tank fight Edwin De Los Santos. I would love to see it. You know what I'm saying? I would love to see it. I would love to see that fight. As a fan, I would love it. If that came across and it got announced, I'd be like, yep, okay, cool. All right then, you know what I'm saying? We about to see some sparks. We about to see some grenades. Like, it's about to be on and cracking. I would love it. But the point of the matter is, in Shakur's philosophy is, it's okay in his mind, because De Los Santos lost, and the things that he was actually saying about Edwin De Los Santos and how good of a fighter it is, he would love for Tank to go fight him, even though he lost. That's not most of the time, especially when you're talking about somebody like Tank, you know that is not acceptable. Tank is not going to be able to get away with nothing, fighting none of these dudes coming off of a loss. The only one that people will probably be okay with is because Devin Haney got that W back. So people will say, okay, cool. If Tank gonna fight Devin since he's coming off the couch. It's August, late August, and you know the fight was April 20th, and Devin's coming off the couch. He's making his return and all this. You know, yeah, you know, it sounds like he's coming off the couch, but the dude been out since April. So if he announced that, people will be acceptable with that. But the philosophy is the average boxing fan would not accept that you're fighting a guy. The next guy you fight is coming off a loss. That's one of the things. Like, they don't want it because that's another thing that people can say to discredit it. But in Shakur's mindset, that's his philosophy. You can do that. These fighters, get to know your fighter. Understand his philosophy.
That's like, that don't even add up. It don't even make sense, bro. If you really like that, you see that this nigga's a big 135 pounder. He got boxing skills and power. Nigga, you will get credit for beating him. Why not fight him? Come on, bro. This a game where niggas is playing like the least risk for the most money, and I respect it. They got it from.
Say what?
Beat him. Why not fight him? Come on, bro. This a game where niggas is playing like the least risk for the most money, and I respect it. They got it from the best of them. I get it, but truthfully, you can't talk to me and say anything bad about me or nothing about me if you not gonna get in that fire.
What makes you so confident about fighting Tank? Because a lot of people may say that you don't have the experience, and on your side, you can also say that people are scared to fight you. But a lot of people like to say that you haven't fought a lot of the top fighters.
But how can I not have the experience if I'm more accomplished than this dude? I'm a 3-weight world champion and actually really a world champion. Tank had two belts his whole career, right? They was both the same belt. He had the WBA at 130 pounds. That's the only title he ever hold in his career. Then if you really look at it, his opponents don't even want to fight me. I got offered, they try to get Pitbull to fight me. He didn't want to fight me. The people that y'all saying, oh, this, that, and the third, these dudes don't want to fight me. It's a reason they don't want to fight me. And I don't respect it because it's like y'all could say, oh, I'm not experienced, or I didn't fight nobody. I'm not battle tested. I'm not this. But if everybody's saying no, if niggas is all lining up and they like, no, nigga, there's no way we could fight.
Okay, so you got to keep this in mind now. Understand, if everybody's saying no, so you understand that when it comes down to Shakur, you understand that, right? But you're gonna have to understand that if Tank says, "Hey, Loma, what's good?" He said, "Oh, I got my family thing," and then Shakur say, "We've been contacted," then he goes sign allegedly a 2-fight deal. You go for allegedly if he signed a 2-fight deal elsewhere, then that's another dude. So the 2 top dudes at 135 said no. It's gonna be kind of hard for me to sit around and listen to anybody with any validity that question whatever Tank goes after that, as far as who he picks, especially if he ain't picking nobody coming off of a loss or a bad performance, and they in his weight class or above. Like, it's gonna be kind of hard. You're gonna be looking real silly. You're gonna be looking real hypocritical, looking and sounding real hypocritical with whoever, based on your fighter's philosophy, because this is your fighter's philosophy.
There's no way that I could get in the ring with none of these dudes you talking about. I wanted to fight Lomachenko. What'd he say? No. I wanted to fight Kambosos. What'd he say? No. I wanted to fight Frank Martin. He fake signed up, said no. I wanted to fight Pitbull Cruz. He said no. Like, I can go down the list, and it's more.
What was
Lomachenko's
excuse?
I don't know. Y'all gotta ask these people. You gotta sit down with them. But they are literally dudes that's offered to fight Shakur. Like, it's on their table. It's coming to their table, and they saying no. But you gotta realize too, I've been in the ring with a lot of these dudes. So I kind of like fucked over myself when I sparred these dudes and got in the ring and they found out how good I am. Now it's like, shit, you're gonna have to pay me a shitload of money to get Shakur in the ring. And I think that's why I fucked up at, truthfully.
Yeah. You got a lot of bad flack too because your last fight, it didn't go the way you wanted it to go. You came out with the victory, but a lot of people felt like it was not entertaining. They felt like it wasn't enough action. That last fight, people like to bring up a lot. Every time you tweet, every time you say something, people like to bring up the last fight.
Keep bringing it up. Truthfully, with that, how I feel is like, when you got a fighter that's coming off a bad performance, right? And this is like in the history of boxing, everybody is licking their chops. Everybody is like,
Joe Cordina literally just came off a knockout loss. And he said when people see a bad performance or something like that, I would reason that coming off of a knockout loss would be considered a bad performance. But that's just me. He said everybody's licking their chops. This is your fighter's philosophy now, so don't be online arguing with me about him. This your fighter philosophy, your favorite fight. Now I'm a fan, or I was, but I'm going by. I'm trying to follow. I'll be trying to give a young man credit, but I let's listen again.
When you got a fighter that's coming off a bad performance, right? And this is like in the history of boxing, everybody is licking their chops. Everybody is like, nigga, sign me up for this dude. Like, he's trash.
That's Shakur Stevenson. So what is Joe Cordina? What is Joe Cordina? I know this hurt a lot of feelings, man. This hurt a lot of feelings, man. This right here, man. I don't know, man, because repetition is the key to learning.
History of boxing, everybody is licking their chops.
Every time you tweet, every time you say something, people like to bring up the last fight.
Keep bringing it up. Truthfully, with that, how I feel is like, when you got a fighter that's coming off a bad performance, right? And this is like in the history of boxing, everybody is licking their chops. Everybody is like, nigga, sign me up for this dude. Like, he's trash. Like, anybody that have a bad performance, everybody wants to fight him. Why is it different with me? Like, what is the difference when it come down to me? Why is it still hard to get these fighters in the ring? It should not be hard to get them in the ring if I'm coming off of a bad performance. I'm not that good. I don't have no power. What else they say? I run the whole time. If all of these things are the truth, why not get in the ring with me? So that's my response to any fans that got anything that's, man, fuck y'all. Truthfully, fuck y'all. I done put up how many performances?
I was like, oh yeah, Shakur.
Ring, if I'm coming off of a bad performance, I'm not that good. I don't have no power. What else they say? I run the whole time. If all of these things are the truth, why not get in the ring with me? So that's my response to any fans that got anything that's, man, fuck y'all. Truthfully, fuck y'all. I done put up how many performances where it's like, yo, Shakur is shining. He turning up. Like, I done been back to back, put out performances, and then now they want to talk about one performance. Cool. I went in there with one hand against a good fighter. No disrespect. Like, I'm a real nigga, so I'm going to tell y'all the truth. That nigga's a good fighter. He got good boxing skills, had good power. He got 2 hands. The only thing where he was weak at was his IQ. He wasn't smart enough to beat me. If he was smart enough, he would have jumped on me and realized, nigga, this nigga fighting with 1 hand. Anybody fighting with 1 hand, nigga, you better go throw all 6 hands. Nigga, you better have 6 hands in that bitch. If he got 1 hand, you got 6. Because if you got 2, that's it's a crazy disadvantage. But truthfully, I feel like I said, he's a good fighter. I don't take none away from him. But if Tank was like that, he should go fight a fighter like that. You like that, go get credit. Shakur not like that. Go prove to the world how I'm not like that. Go, if you're not gonna fight me next, then go prove to the world how I'm not like that. That's how I feel about it.
What happened to your hand? Did you hurt it during the fight or before the fight?
I heard it before the fight. I went in there with, it's a video, yo. Tell people pull a video up. No cap. They ain't gonna post it or show the world the real shit. It's a video of my hand right before the fight. You'll see a nigga come in. He hug. I ain't even gonna say nigga. I think it was, I don't know if I remember correctly. It might have been Michael B. Jordan. It was somebody that came and gave me a hug. And you could see my hand in the video and my knuckle is swollen. This is before the fight.
So this was 3 months ago on Say Cheese. Now, I think I did a decent job at stopping it on the key points. Only thing I really didn't do, because I didn't know how far I wanted to let the video ride. But the only thing I really didn't do was speak to the fact that Shakur is saying what he's saying because the last couple performances, people had higher expectations than, I guess, what his standards are, and people were vocal about it. But the gaslighting portion of that is, what about the fans like myself who was giving you your salutes, saying how you showed out, supporting you in all those standout performances? But it's like that song say, it's the first time I say no, it's like I never said yes. And that's how these boxers are getting with the fans and our, we can be praising them, we can be saying, dang, you seen what he did, putting on his highlights, showing them like piecing up somebody like for 5 or 6 times. And then when we see something that's like, hold on, man, you wasn't yourself. Like, why were you doing that? Why you was doing this? Why it looked like you was scared of this? Now all of a sudden we hating. That's why it's like, as real fans who will keep it a buck, you're gonna have some people that ain't gonna say nothing at all. And those are the most dangerous people around. That's why I say on my channel, silence is consent. That means if you ain't saying nothing, you're consenting to what it is. But don't be no hindsight is 2020 looking ass. Then all of a sudden you know this and you know that, and you the greatest thing, and everybody don't know shit, and you the best ever at analyzing. Like, stop it, man. Stop it. You can like your guy, but if you always stay silent and you don't never have shit to say about your dude and what they doing and how bad it is, or how you don't understand it, then we know what it is, man. We know what it is. I think I showed y'all what it is. It's the equivalent of Sausage Party boxing talk. That's what's going on all over the place right now. Sausage Party boxing talk. They just want to get on there, they want to deflect, they want to deny, they want to gaslight. Oh, I don't recall that. Oh, you're over exaggerate. Look at him, he's getting emotional. Like, no. I'm speaking these facts. And you don't like it. So this is the other thing I want to do. I want to show you this. I want to read you this. And so we looked at it from his philosophy. By his philosophy, it's okay to fight somebody coming off a loss, but also in his philosophy, when somebody's coming off a bad performance, everybody's licking their chops. They're like, sign me up for this dude. This dude's trash. And this, by George, Artem was coming off a loss to Frank, who he said Tank was picking and choosing when he fought Frank and was mad at Frank for not fighting him. He also said he ain't gonna lie about sparring. It was good work. It was a chess match. That's about the level-headed, most like honest thing I've picked and choose out of this thing. He said it was a chess match. At the end of the day, we know it's a chess match, man. We don't know what's gonna happen when they get in the ring. A lot of us have assumptions. A lot of us have our beliefs. But whether you pick fighter A or fighter B, fighter blue or fighter red, they still got to get in the ring. But we'll get online, we'll bash, we'll crash out, we'll get on here looking and sounding dumb, regurgitating. I know some of y'all, if y'all said the same thing over and over to your woman like y'all do online, where y'all it's just the same old thing, I guess y'all be the same ones that just hit it the same old way, huh? Y'all don't remix it up. Y'all don't flip it. Y'all don't do nothing. Y'all just the same old greasy. Just take what I give you looking ass. Probably got a horrible love life, man. Because all we supposed to do is just take that, and just live with it and just be happy with what you got looking asses. That's what we supposed to be, right? Yeah. But we can take away a lot of these things that Shakur said, and some of these things make you question. But when you question these things, then you're a hater. Like, no, we're taking back what was originally our ideas, and our logic and our philosophy is where we are critical thinkers. We don't live, we don't learn, we don't get by off of the rote memorization and regurgitation. We want to know the height, the length, the width, the depth, the breadth, the buoyancy, its mass, its structure. So we can say less and mean more. Some of y'all just want to be dumb. Some of y'all bust it open for the first thing that come by, waving a bag. And I told you, that's how you end up in the back of the van, bent over, all sad. Because you don't think, you don't critically think. You just on autopilot. You just want to jump from sausage party to sausage party. Think, man. You ain't got nothing to lose by thinking, by being critical, by saying something that ain't right. A lot of things go on in life because a lot of people, they say all it takes for evil to prevail is for good men to remain silent. But we get on here and we'll regurgitate the same old thing over and over again, thinking that I guess the 9th time or the 12th time or the 13th time that we say it, it's going to mean something different. That's the definition of insanity. Same thing over and over again, expecting different results. That's what we're doing. They're just giving us bread and circuses. They telling us money ain't a thing, and then it's like every time we look around, it's a situation going on between Philly and Atlanta right now, and this wasn't supposed to be. Money ain't a thing in most cases. It ain't nothing. I want all the smoke, but all we're hearing about is money. The reason why Frank and Shakur didn't happen was a little bit of according to Frank. So it's all about money, but we not getting fights and money is involved. It's supposedly it's a blank check. We got the sugar daddy. Boxing got a sugar daddy, but he ain't putting out. He putting a little extra on whatever, but look, the price of cherries went up. Why wouldn't they when the price of watermelons, cucumbers, kale, all of that stuff went up? So why wouldn't the price of cherries go up? Think, y'all, think, man. Juice your noodle. And have some cojones. Reach down into your pantalones and see if you still got a set of cojones, man. Because a lot of people are sounding soft. They're looking weak. Your whole standard of boxing and how you view everything changes based on you and the guy that you like or the guy that you don't. And that's where it's going wrong. The other aspect of this thing I want to do is go over this article. And this is, Chris Algieri is going to be talking in here. And I told you, man, this guy, he's one of them Monday morning quarterback type analyzer. Like if you go back and listen to what he be saying before the fight and then go listen to what he say after the fight, he get right back online. Like it don't never make sense. That's why in real time I be giving them shit. But we're gonna read this article and I'm gonna go through the article and I'm gonna make sense out of this. But this is also just like that video. This is gonna make you question a whole lot of things. To where if you answer it, you're gonna sound like an unloyal, disloyal, bitch ass fan, according to somebody like Shakur. But if you rocking with somebody like me, it's like, dang, you actually using your critical thinking skills. You actually want to see the fight, but you're trying to make light of it. You're trying to learn. You're trying to understand. Okay, cool. Like, how do we actually get these fights? What's the real reason? We do that in life. We forget about that online. We just become dumb robots. Let me get into this article. Boxing News 24. Will Eddie Hearn deliver the Zepeda fight for Shakur? You got Harvey Doc. They got the image of De Los Santos and Shakur. And let me see. Let me make sure I do this. I'm not even gonna monetize this one. But protect yourself at all times, man. Gotta use that prophylactics, man. Put a Jimmy on it, man. Before you get done greasy out here, man. I ain't gonna charge you nothing for that. But let's get into this. All right. Okay. All right, it's showing. All right. That's the Vegas shot. James DeGrand. 8/24. 2024. About 11, 12 hours ago. I think when I saw it, it was 11 hours ago. Eddie Hearn's 2-fight deal for Shakur Stevenson involves him fighting non-matchroom fighter William Zepeda in his second fight in early 2025. Like the minute you believe that, you already sold. You already sold. So, but in real life, you can't get nobody to do nothing. Like, it's like in real life, somebody say, okay, cool, I want you to do, I got these 2 jobs, you know what I'm saying, blah, blah, this. It's like, no, you want half of your deposit up front on the first day, and then you're gonna be looking however long that job take, and then upon completion, you're gonna want to get paid off for that before you move on to the next job. You just don't blindly believe that, okay, cool, this guy got me, I got 2 jobs, and this is what he do. He flashed one number that looked nicer than what you used to seeing here lately, and then you just gonna walk down that path. So this is an unpromised fight because Zepeda is not attached with Matchroom. Zepeda is attached to Golden Boy. Shakur's first fight of his 2-fight deal with Matchroom is against Joe Cordina, a British fighter who isn't popular in the US and is coming off a knockout loss. That fight hurts Shakur's marketability more than it helps. This is not me. I told you who the author of this was, so don't shoot the messenger. Just listen to me. Delivering is a Zepeda fight. The question is whether Hearn will deliver the Golden Boy promoted Zepeda, 31-0, 27 knockouts, because he'll need to work with promoter Oscar De La Hoya to make that happen. De La Hoya has complained recently about WBC lightweight champion Shakur, 22-0 with 10 knockouts, lacking self-confidence to fight entertainingly to make him a marketable fighter. So Oscar De La Hoya, he's already playing, oh, he's not marketable, he's not this and this and that. So, Oscar, you got to judge Oscar kind of like on a different scale. Because he deal with somebody like Ryan Garcia, who everybody wants to fight, and people will risk their whole legacy based on, a circus show just to fight, just to share the ring with him. You know what I'm saying? But his marketability and all that, he's selling, he's doing that. It's still even though Shakur is a pure boxer, very accomplished, Olympic pedigree, as far as marketability, it's not on the level of a Ryan Garcia, and it's not on the level of a Tank, and it's not on the level of a Canelo. Let's just be honest. He actually sells more tickets than I would say than like a Devin Haney. But as far as marketability, that's what Oscar is saying. You also got to look at Oscar De La Hoya in another light, and that he's a promoter and he has vest interest. He's going to keep some things close to the vest for right now. And we all don't act like we haven't seen the tactics when it came down to Virgil Ortiz, and they were saying when they going to let him fly the nest. Don't think Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez. Think about how long it took for him to be able to get off the leash. It was kind of late for Ryan. Think about Jaime Munguia, because contrary to popular belief here recently, everybody praised him because he finally got the Canelo fight. But just a year ago, everybody was taking a big, huge shit on Munguia and said, dang. People were saying, man, we talk about Tank, but damn, when they going to take the limits off of Jaime Munguia? He wasn't doing what he wasn't going to go be that killer that everybody thought he was. He was remaining undefeated, but he was stacking up them victories. So this is the kind of promoter you're dealing with in Oscar. So you got to take what he's saying, you got to put it on the scale like you do every other promoter. But I digress. Despite not holding a title, that's what I gotta remind everybody once again, that this is the landscape. Because normally unifications trump mandatories. This is not no mandatory, and unifications trump it. I gotta remind you, normally that's the standard. You know what I'm saying? Normally, typically. Despite not holding a title, Zepeda is a more popular fighter than Shakur. Now, he do have the benefit of having a Mexican fan base behind him. So number-wise, as far as popularity, you would have to probably say, because he does have the whole Mexican, population behind him. And he doesn't need him. So, despite not holding the title, Zepeda is more popular than Shakur, and he doesn't need him. It's the other way around. Why? Because Zepeda is ranked number 1 with all the sanctioning bodies at lightweight, and he would make more money fighting WBA regular champion Gervonta Tank Davis. That's the harsh reality. So I said the other day in my live, I said, I don't know if I ever heard of a champion taking a stay busy fight, waiting for a guy that's ranked number 1. Like, I don't know if I ever heard that. To fight a guy, like in the stay busy, to fight a guy coming off a knockout loss, moving up. I said, I ain't never heard of it. You know what I'm saying? That's just being real. I ain't never heard nothing like that. I said, that's kind of weird. Normally, you might not be the A side of the Tank, but I mean, you would have to make everybody cover down. But anyway, Shakur left Top Rank because they couldn't deliver him the big fights. So they saying Top Rank couldn't deliver him. So this article is basically saying Top Rank couldn't deliver him. That sounded a lot like that clip that I played a while ago when I was talking about Bob Arum and how he was saying with fighters that fight for Top Rank. Because he was saying Shakur and Devin and Devin and Shakur and Loma with fighters that fight for top rank. So this man was ready to test the waters, but this article right here is saying that top rank couldn't make the fight. They didn't say Tank was avoiding him and he was on the other side of the street, but top rank couldn't deliver him the big fights. So we talking about the big fights. Some of the onus got to be on them. Because why are these guys saying no? It got to be a little bit more, because people say if it's enough money, you'll get in the ring, whatever. Because that's, after all, the way Shakur talk about Tank, he ain't accomplished, he ain't this and this and that. But it's sure a lot of people that want to fight him and get in the ring with him. I'm not sure why, but I'm thinking it has something to do with money and probably being the biggest name. Even though, you know, y'all saying that he ain't accomplished, he ain't this and this and that. Shakur looks at that Jerron Ennis rollout with Eddie Hearn and says, I want that kind of attention. I wasn't getting that with top rank. So this is Chris Algieri right here. Shakur looks at that Jerron rollout with Eddie Hearn and says, I want that kind of attention. I wasn't getting that with top rank, said boxing expert Chris Algieri to the Pro Box TV YouTube channel about what swayed Shakur Stevenson to sign with Eddie Hearn's Matchroom. So that's what it was. He wanted that attention. Don't shoot me. I'm just a messenger. Will history repeat itself? Welterweight champion Jerron Boots Ennis has fought just once since signing with Hearn, against 36-year-old David Avanesian. If Hearn can't deliver the champions at 147 for Boots, his next fight could be against Karan Chukajan. Whether Hearn can work with his magic with Boots or Shakur is questionable, because it's not as easy as he thinks to deal with different promoters and networks. Also, when you have two good fighters like Boots, other fighters and promoters don't want to face him. In Shakur's case, he's a boring runner who isn't a draw. There's nothing to gain for fighters to face Shakur, especially when they could potentially lose a decision against a guy who hits and runs all night. Shakur naively believes that fights will suddenly be delivered to him, which were never there before when he was with Top Rank. That might not be the case. Can he, Hearn, secure the fights that really matter? The fights Top Rank could not, because that was Shakur's main gripe, said Algieri. Can Eddie get him the big fights, or was Eddie just the guy who talked at the negotiating table to make everyone think they could get the big fights? They give an example, Hearn handling Andre's career. If Hearn can't set up a fight with Zepeda for Shakur in early 2025, it will be interesting to see who he does get. It will look bad if it's another British fighter that American fans aren't familiar with. Hearn would match Shakur as he did with Demetrius Andrade when he was with Matchroom. Instead of setting up fights with the killers at 154 to increase Andrade's popularity, Hearn matched him against Luke Keeler, Maciel Selecki, Liam Williams, and Jason Quigley. He then wondered why Andrade's popularity didn't increase. Those are facts. That's a statistic. That is data that you can go by. There's history with Andrade, and people rock with Andrade, but during that time, same side of the street, he didn't get a Triple G. He didn't get a Canelo. Facts are facts. The 2-fight deal that there is for Shakur with Matchroom. The second fight is with Zepeda, who is with Golden Boy, said Algieri. Eddie and Golden Boy, I don't know how many fights they've made in recent years, but Golden Boy and Bob and Oscar De La Hoya make fights. They can do some crossover fights. It's probably easier to make that fight through there. But anytime you have fighters in opposite promotional situations, it's hard to make these fights. Is Eddie the guy that can jump through the lines, said Algieri. Hearn can potentially set up a fight with Zepeda for Shakur if he offers the right deal. But it's not a sure thing. If he tries to broker a deal for Shakur to fight Tank Davis next year, he will have problems. That's not likely to happen without Shakur signing with PBC. Crossing lines. To a degree, he is, because now we're talking about Turki Al-Sheikh. And it seems that Eddie has a very tight connection with Turki, and they're having a lot of fights together. So potentially you can get that crossover appeal, said Algieri. Turki can definitely help Hearn get the fight with Zepeda, but probably not Tank if PBC isn't on board. I don't know if Tank is excited about fighting with Shakur, especially if he looks bad against Zepeda and Cordina. They announced that Shakur is fighting Cordina a couple of days ago. Well, Cordina is with Eddie. So it kind of makes sense that Shakur is now signing with Eddie. So let me pause it right there. It's real interesting how since Shakur wants to fight with Cordina, he signs with Eddie. But when people say, hey, you want to fight with Tank, go sign with PBC. And people say, here you go. There you go. But Algieri said, well, Cordina is with Eddie. So it kind of makes sense that Shakur is now signing with Eddie. You see how that works? But it's different when you talk about Tank, though. He has a 2-fight deal. We'll see what Eddie can actually deliver, was promised, said Algieri. Let's see what Eddie can deliver, because with Jaron Ennis, he certainly hasn't yet. So we got Andre, we got Jaron Ennis. When Matias came by, he didn't get no Devin Haney. You can start going down through these numbers. But when Matias came over, he didn't get no Devin Haney. Richardson Hitchens, who did he got? He got a Bowser. He got a Gustavo Lemos, which is going to turn out to be good. Hearing good news about Gustavo Lemos and Keyshawn Davis coming up. You know, just waiting for some clarity on that. Good fight. But what did Richardson Hitchens get? He didn't get no, who did he get? He didn't get Montana Love. Montana Love, who did Montana Love get? Montana Love got what? Baranchek. He got Steve Sparks, disqualification. Then he got Liam Paro. So when you look at this thing, when you sign up, they're signing you up. And I was trying to tell you, this is why I'll be trying to say people can't focus, because I'll be having 2 different conversations. I'll be asking, are they making American boxing great again? When I ask this question, people get offended. Are they making American boxing great again? Because when you look at it, when these guys, like the guys that we rock with, like a guy like Shakur, he's being pieced up against a guy from over there. Not nobody who we want to see over here. And we can play that game. Listen, Ammo Williams didn't get a Truck Simpson. He got a Cordell Booker. Ammo Williams, he got a couple people. But for the most part, when you get over there and you sign like Boots, he got Albanesian, and they were saying Karan. Now everybody's got their fingers crossed, hoping that, you know, this whole Brian Norman Jr. thing going through with, you know, they were just a couple of days ago, they was all on, you know, this push for him to go here, but everybody's hoping that now he get a Brian Norman Jr. because Brian Norman Jr. and his pops finally came out and, you know, they put their foot down. But when you look at what's actually going on, man, the history is, look, I'm gonna put you over here. I'm gonna do this. Now, Algieri just said it, so don't shoot me. But this has been a pattern. You can tell from Andre. You can look at Andre's career when he went over there. I mean, Richardson Hitchens, we have yet to know. Like, he did get Regis he got Regis Devin. He got the Devin fight, you know, but before that, it was what, Zarilla and who else he got? I mean, he got the belt. But when you look at it, when you look at the history, when you where you sign at is they have the fighters where you want to fight. So you can't be mad that it's no Loma and it's no Baranchek over here, even though we heard, because I could play this recording too, where Tim Bradley said that Navarrete had a deal with a John Hancock on it and he never got back. He said that live on air during the Baranchek fight when he got this title that night. He said that live on air that night. Never got no word of that. And it was somebody else that said they had a deal with a name with a signature on it. Never got back. You know what I'm saying? But true fans, they don't be reporting on everything. They just report on the stuff that don't, you know, that's going to make him look good. They're not going to put a point on the stuff that's going to actually make them sound good because they're telling the truth, but they're using information to support their claims. They're not going to do all that. That's too much right now. It's just, let's just spew out the propaganda them spreading. But historically, the fighters that you want, if they over there, you sign with the place where the fighters are where you want. Don't shoot the messenger. That was Algeria that said that. So we getting to Cordina, and it sounded like it was something that was always in the play, but I said, hold on, I gotta wait and see these lab results, because when I kept hearing the whispers and the rumblings of Cordina, I was just like, for real? I'm like, you know, Cordina, I respect Cordina. You know what I'm saying? It's just not when you have expectations and things like that, and you're expecting something, and the standard is, because again, we all were looking. We all know that this is the Cold War. We already know that. It's the Cold War. Like it's what needed to happen. So for you to become free, with your philosophy, how you were just talking on Say Cheese and how this and this and that, all you got to do, make an offer, reach out, and then we hear word that, now that's where it gets to, after the reaching out, after that is where, okay, cool. As fans, once we confirmed that bad broad that you was looking at hollering at, that one that you always said, man, if I can get my hands on that red bone right there, you know, that one reached out, inquired about you. After that, that's where the fans should be like, oh, I'm out of it. He got the number. You know what I'm saying? We waiting for you to come back and be like, got the draws, dog. Like I remember Tommy, got the draws, dog. Like we waiting for you to come. Like you got the number. They reached it. Then she, not only did you, so they reached out. She reached out. You talking about that fine one? You talking about that one that was, you know what I'm saying? She got back in contact with you. Oh, for real? Do your thing, homie. And then the next thing you know, you over there, you like, hold on, what happened with that thing you said you wanted? What happened to her? That's just me though, huh? That's just me. I said a lot of things, man. I would love for some people to explain to me, or some people, I would love to know your thoughts on this, you know, not no emotions, based on things, based on what Shakur said, based on the facts, and based on the fact that he was talking like that just 3 months ago. He was talking like that. Now I got to fight on July 7th. Fight me then next. You say you want me, you this. All you gotta do, make an offer, reach out, and then there was a reach out, and next thing you know, you fighting Cordina. But according to your philosophy, when you see somebody coming off a bad performance, everybody looking at you saying, they're licking their chops saying, sign me up, let's fight. And you're choosing that with the ideals that we're going to get a Zepeda next, knowing that in order to get Zepeda, Oscar has to be involved. And that's no guarantee, my friend. I don't know if you've seen the recent video, you know what I'm saying, with that man getting up and doing all that crazy. Like, I don't know, man. You seen what happened with Ryan, his last ordeal. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. If you want to, that's hanging on a wish and a prayer. We already know that all you gotta do is go, you know, if the dime reached out, I don't think I really want to hear nothing about I don't think I really want to hear nothing about who Tank fight next. I don't think I really want to see and hear too many people talking about he ducking. You know what I'm saying? That's a deflection tactic, and that means that you have not attended the curriculum of today. You have not attended and went through the program of Shakur philosophy. I think that was like Shakur philosophy 103. That means if you have not seen this video tonight with Shakur's philosophy broken down in real time as we stop it from his philosophy. So if you have not taken Shakur's philosophy 103, I don't think you should be participating too heavily in any conversations where your only points is that somebody ducked him. That one of the hottest names in the game ducked him. I don't think you should be participating in any of those conversations. I would love to somebody that has some creativity or something to say or something in defense or some kind of reasoning or rationale or justification to holler at me. What up, Bodywork? What's going on? JDL Boxing salute. I don't get it, Bodywork. Shakur has been chasing for that Tank fight. Did Shakur sign with the Zone? Yeah. Yeah, he signed with the Zone. That was the whole thing, bro. Blessings, many greetings, my brother. Team No Mas Tears, Hector Tapia, salute. Champion Sports Boxing, the same old faithful position. That part was kind of funny, huh? Money talks, BS walks. That's right. I mean, we to say that the man wasn't going, if they reached out, like, that's what I say as a fan, that's what we need to kind of digress, because if they reached out to you, the money and all that shouldn't be none of our business. That shouldn't be none of our business, man. If that's what you really wanted, you was mano a mano, you was a free agent, you had that, but that's the same thing that they allowed Bud and them to do all them years. And at the end say, oh, well, Bud dropped the mic and say Bob couldn't make the big fights. When Bob was telling you the whole time he was losing money, it was hard to deal with, this and that. And it is obvious they're not putting out enough bread to get these fights. That's why I say that this, look. That's why I keep talking about this. That's what this really is, man. This sugar daddy with this big bag. He gave you that package deal, the first one, and then got you sprung, and you've been chasing that high ever since. And it's never gonna be the same. It's never gonna be the same, my friend. But we're not thinking about these things. Like, we're not really analyzing the session. We just be getting in our emotions because we can't see the fight. We start saying and doing and speaking all these things, and it don't lead to us actually getting the big fights. And I'm saying a lot of these people that be out here online talking about, it don't lead us to getting the good fights. They just want you to be thankful and be happy. And when I looked at this card, did y'all see this card? Like, when you look at this card, man, it's almost like a parlay where pretty much the side of Bill, pretty much everybody looking at their card and saying, oh man, you just got, like, it's favorited out. Like, every one of them fights is favorited out. Now, anything can happen in a boxing match, but as far as the odds, I would be hard pressed other than the Bivol and Beterbiev. I don't know. I will probably be the only one to say I'll take Bivol on the right, and then everybody on the left under Beterbiev. They are pegged to win. It's like, what kind of card is that? Like, yeah, we get to see the fighters and it's something to watch, and yeah, the events is good, and if you're a boxing junkie, that's good. But if you're talking about like what we want, like basically getting boxing and then getting what you want, that's two different things. And the best way I've seen it was last week, I think it was like last week, man, in the chat over there, getting down. You know, I was in the chat just being a fan like everybody else. And the way I saw it was somebody said fights that you want versus fights you don't mind seeing. It's a difference, my friend. But if you critique a fight and it falls in the category of the ones that you don't mind seeing, if you critique it in that, then it's, oh, here you go. You know, was complaining about something. It's like, no, man, We got to keep our eyes on the prize, and we got to be focused and keep putting stakes in the ground because it puts pressure. So you can't just give us anything, the same thing over and over again. You ain't just gonna missionary me all the time, man. You're gonna have to switch it up. That's what we're seeing now. So the idea that you can't really say anything about this, the idea that money is actually, it's this elusive big bag of money that can make all of this, like money, typically money is like this love potion. It can be a love potion, right? But money, man, if it's used wrong, man, it could be your downfall just as well. You can go out and buy a gun that can, save your life, or you can take somebody. You know what I'm saying? That money is the same way, man. And it was being looked at in today's day in society. They believe that money is a cure-all. Money can cure some things, but if not applied properly, it could put you in the worst state. I told you about them stimmies, man. When people got them stimmies and then it wasn't sustainable and people crashed and burned. And that's what we're getting now. Like when I look at that car, when you look at that car, let me see. Let me see. Look at the car, man. I mean, it almost speaks for itself. Like Fight Speed, I don't mind saying this is a car, man, with the big picture, the ones up top. That's what everybody been wanting. I've been waiting for that. Politics of Boxing got, in the middle of that. If you ask me, the Politics of Boxing had been got in the middle of that. Like, I think it's gonna be a good fight. Those are two champions, man. That's probably perhaps, like, as far as boxing and the integrity of boxing and meaningful fights, this is perhaps the most meaningful fight that can happen right now. Like, this is the most meaningful the most meaningful fight that can happen right now in the sport. This will unify 175. So, excellent point. So, in the essence, anything after that is just a plus, because at the heart of a hardcore, that's the most meaningful fight that can happen in boxing. So you check the block off of that alone, it's done. It's like, okay, cool, you got that. You can argue if you want to argue pricing and you want to argue undercard, all that, you can get off into that, right? So you get the kudos, you get the salute for putting on the most meaningful fight in boxing, just like the most meaningful fight in heavyweights was to get it unified and undisputed. Like, that happened. So this fight will be in the same notch as that. So that's two shot, two kill right there. If you take that, you compartmentalize that, and you sit that off to the side, you start gauging the undercard, and you look at it. You pretty much know everybody on the left for the most part. You know Shakur. That's what this video is about. If you a boxing head, you know who Cordina is. You know Chris Eubanks. Then you got Jametta. Then you got Fabio Wardley. Not sure if a lot of people know who Fabio Wardley is, but I used to have Fabio Wardley and Jared Anderson on the Crash Collision. I don't know if I have that right now. I still would want to see him. Just got to see Jared come back. But I thought that was going to be the cross pond thing where they meet up or whatever. But Fabio, and then Frazier Clark. If you've seen it the first time, then okay, you have a history with that, but you might not know either one of them. Jai Obata, he's been turning heads and doing his thing. You might know him if you're a boxing head. Jack Massey. Not sure if people know him. Ben Whitaker. I know my old head, he say Ben Whitaker, he like Ben Whitaker. He been keeping his eye. We've been keeping our eye. We both say that, okay, with all the extra stuff that he do in the ring, like you need to simmer down a little bit on that, but like he does have a skill set and he does have like a it factor. We just don't know if he the real deal. He got to go through some things, but it's looking good. Like my old head say something about you, you jumping off the page skill wise. Liam, that's a Liam. Then you got Sky Nicholson. A lot of people know her. You know, they starting to get to know her more. And Raven Chapman. But you might know Sky. You might know Sky. Sky been in her bag boxing impeccably. You know, we want to see her against, you know, certain people and things, but right, as far as the pace and how they're guiding and doing that, and that's a good look. I'm guessing that would be history right there. And then Muhammad Alamel and Jesus Gonzalez. I'm not sure if people know that. It's two different things to critique and say, do I know this? Was I expecting this fight? Are these fights that we don't mind seeing? Yes. Are these fights that we wanted? No. So a fight between Shakur Stevenson and Joe Cordina, we don't mind seeing it, but is it a fight that we wanted? No. Was it a fight that we were asking for? No. That's just an honest assessment, especially if I haven't heard anything about Tank and what he got going on. There's plenty of other people. I mean, it was a tough, like if you're gonna fight, because this what happens, right? This what happens. What Shakur did was he opened up a question. He opened up a realm of questions or a whole logic that made a lot of us start looking at it like this. Well, if you was willing to fight somebody that was moving up, coming off of a loss, and at one point in time, you just doubled down and said that Pitbull didn't want to fight you, which means since he had that belt, if it was going to be before the Ryu, since he had that belt, you were willing to go to 40 for eyesight. Well, Subriel Matias was coming off of a loss. He was a former champion. He was at 40. But he signed that Matchroom right before you. I think in between, you was after Jaleel Hackett, but I think before that, I think I want to say that Subriel Matias was before Jaleel Hackett. So it was Subriel Matias, Jaleel Hackett. No, Subriel Matias, Boots Subriel, Jaleel Hackett, Shakur Stevenson. And when you look at it, when they signed up, who did they fight? I mean, Jaleel Hackett, he hit the jackpot because he fought Peter Dobbs. When Peter Dobbs was a common opponent with Conor Benn. So that was great for Jaleel. He the only one that got somebody from over here. I mean, but a lot of people really didn't know Pete Dobbs. But what Shakur did, he opened up a question to say, if you was willing to fight somebody coming off of a loss, a stoppage loss, and somebody that was moving up, then you say, okay, it opened up, okay, well, cool, having a loss wouldn't have mattered. Wouldn't the Tevin Farmer would have been better? Morataya actually beat him, but it wasn't enough bag or it wasn't enough interest for if you was going to do Morataya, you could have did it with somebody who had more money on your terms and get an opponent to pull up on that stage like a Morataya. Like, I'm going to take somebody like a Morataya and pull him up there and put him on there. If it was money, because supposedly the money is the antidote, and where, like, this is what they're trying to reason. They're trying to reason that if Eddie can't make it happen and there's somebody else, then they can call their Turkey Sheik over and he can come sprinkle something on it and then we can get it. That's how they're trying to make it seem. So in one aspect, size of the street and all that don't matter, but Algeria just confirmed that typically you sign with the promotional company with the fighter that you want to fight. Like, historically, I mean, that's always how it's been. Always, that's always been how it's been. So, you know, it's some explaining to do. I knew it wasn't gonna have the congregation jumping for joy. I knew a lot of people wasn't gonna be so quick to jump out here and try to, you know, I guess play tug of war, because it's really like, when you look at it, man, it's like we gotta confirm this, man. This is no secret, man. The man just duck tank. He duck tank. He said he was free, he was available, he wasn't going nowhere. Fight me next, and then he go sign to fight Cordina. Quick too. That was probably the fastest free agency I've ever seen. That was one of the fastest. That was almost like grand opening, grand closing. It was like the window was so short, and it was already done. Because Cordina, when you look at the interview with Cordina, salute to Cordina, he did an interview. Seen one of his interviews. He said, yeah, I had a feeling that something like this was going to come down. And, you know, listen, look, for me, I have nothing to lose. No problem, man. I have nothing to lose. Like, if you're looking at me, he's probably looking at the performance and doing this. And he's probably, he said the same thing. He said he's probably licking his chops. You know what I'm saying? And Shakur is licking his chops. So Cordina said he had a feeling that was coming down the line anyway. Because there is a little history there with them going back and forth. But, you know, in the grand scheme of things, man, by doing that activity, especially under the notion, the added notion that the Zepeda fight is going to happen next, and you have to deal with Oscar and that whole situation, I wouldn't buy it. I wouldn't buy it. And as fans, man, you got to have respect for other fans, man, who call you out and say and telling you exactly how it is. Don't gaslight your fellow fans, man. If you don't let your fellow fans be hitting you right in your motherfucking head with some common sense, and you sitting up there like, oh my gosh, you back there now, you're overreacting, dude. Nah, man, be accountable. Yeah, and then also understand the philosophy of your fighter, because by your fighter's philosophy, especially if you're OnlyFans, especially if you get cramps from the knee pads, you know, you get a little chap from the throat coat, maybe the bibs give you a little bit of irritation on your neck when you're wearing those, you might want to fall back a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You might want to keep it facts. You might want to get to know your favorite fighter, understand his philosophy and how he thinks based on the things that he say. But you can't go by these narratives, because people paint a lot of narratives. But when the boxer themselves say it, and then they get qualified by a date, a time, an action, and a fact, that's what it is, man. This was 100% duck, man. Premium. I don't know if it was a Peking or I don't know, man, but it's been confirmed, y'all. It's been confirmed. Let me see if I had it. I used to have it. I might have got rid of it. I ain't using it in a while. Let's see. I just figured I would, let me see, man. Where's my duckology, man? Where's my duckology banner? I had some terminologies. I had them all down. What happened to my duckology? Where's my banner at? It's funny what you come back across, man. I came back across when I said gas bombing, because yeah, they done went people had went past, they went way past gaslighting, man. They people are gas bombing. I was just reminded. Oh man, but I had duck. I might have to come back up with it, but I'm not sure what kind of duck. I think I got to go back into the lab and figure out, was this just a Peking duck? Because there's several different types. I don't know. I don't know if it was. I'm just getting the labs. I just wanted to say that it was confirmed, but I'm still in the lab analyzing exactly which um type of duck this was, and I have my suspicions. Um, I do have my suspicions on which ones is which, but I kind of got to look at a couple more patterns of it. Because we have to rule out a couple, because you got domestic duck. This is not a domestic duck because he's going overseas. He's going overseas. Might be a whistling duck. I'm not sure. But you got mallard. I gotta look up. I gotta get into the lab and look up the other kinds of ducks. But we can definitely rule that this is not a domestic duck. This is not. I know that's not gonna be in the foul. Cause you got marbled duck, canvasback, whistling ducks, a labio duck, a mallard. Definitely not a domestic duck. But a mallard is a medium to large dabbling duck and the most abundant duck species in North America. So the mallard is the most abundant. But I'm not sure. Dabbling, diving. We know he's not a diving duck. He don't take dives. He's not taking no dive. Perching. He might be a perching duck. Yeah, I'm not sure. There are 3 types: dabbling, diving, and perching. And they're classified by their behavior. You got to study that if you really want to break it down. Dabbling ducks live in shallow waters and forage on the shore for aquatic plants. Diving ducks are the best swimmers and can even dive for fish. So we don't know. I'm still in the lab. I just wanted to confirm that this is 100% duck. I don't care how you look at it, how you want to spin it, how you want to just move on, stop complaining, whatever, man. You already know what it is, man. If not, you know how to holler at me, man. You know where I be, man. I'm on this thing on a regular basis, man. With them fruits and veggies. Not that Reggie. If you catch this on the playback, let me know in the comment section what you think. We don't just get out here and spew crazy stuff and attack people or whatever. We try to use our common sense, and I try to use what the boxers say. Not just the boxers. I try to qualify with an article, a video, something, and I also have my own videos I have to go back to, because we're in an era where you can start copying somebody and make a real big video about it, and then you can go back and you can kind of make it look like you've been on it, but you really just copying and pasting, man. Microwaving your research. And you can tell, man, when somebody studied for the test. When they rehearse that speech. And when they just plagiarizing. You already know, man. But hopefully, like always, I hope you get something out of it. I hope you walk away with it. At least, if not, it made you think a little bit more. I hope. I hope it made you just think about using your critical thinking skills a little bit more. Did it challenge you? Did it make you be like, you know what? That kind of makes some sense. I don't agree with it all, but yeah, I mean, that's not too far-fetched. But I was gonna get out of here. But I'm never one to not, want to give somebody an opportunity. And we are burner account friendly. We got burner account friendly, so you can still be under the guise. One of my fans can, that's really a fan, or one of my biters, one of my haters, one of my snakers. If you want to jump on and express yourself, you can use your different voice. However you want to get it, you can get it. Now is the time. Now is the time, man. I would say speak now or forever hold your peace. But as long as I have air in my lungs, I'm always going to give you an opportunity to express yourself. Is there one? With the spirit of truth might have came down on you, and you have it in your heart, and you want to get it. You want to get your mind right, because my philosophy, man, get your mind right or get it on your sleeve. Yeah, I do. I like dealing in hard truths, man. Hard facts, man. We only got a certain period of time that we're gonna be here, man. It's limited. We ain't gonna be here forever, man. We gonna have to, what I'm saying? We ain't gonna be here. Every day is a present. Boxing is growing. It's on some good things. It's on some positive things. We are getting some fights, but let's be responsible in how we talk about them, man. I would say that boxing is in a great place. I think the conversation is tragic. You know what I'm saying? It's a bunch of tribalism and wars and, dumb stuff and casuals run boxing, man. I told y'all that. But don't say I ain't give you an opportunity. Don't say I ain't give you an opportunity to express yourself. Express yourself. And support the channel, man. Don't be scared. If you gotta laugh, if you gotta giggle, if you got a new thought, if you challenge yourself, did you just move out of complacency, or you still gonna be running around regurgitating, rehearsing and regurgitating, and putting on knee pads for somebody that wouldn't, they wouldn't do a lot of things to you if you was on fire. Is that you? Is that you? Is there one? Last couple times I thought about it, I said, man, Mike, you really ain't giving nobody an opportunity to be able to. Yeah, well, I'm giving them an opportunity to do it now. I'm giving them an opportunity to do it now. I hate when people get, they go elsewhere and in their own confines, and they get to talking that noise, man. They get to saying this and this and that. You got opportunity to talk, right? You can talk to me. You can holler at me right now. Burner account. I could put a mask up on the screen. So if you just want to holler, I can hide you behind the veil. Is there one? Is somebody trying to go to the upper room? I got a donation. I got a donation. People love to talk, man. They love to talk their noise, man. That's okay. Another Quello. She love me in the morning, man. What's up, y'all? Kind of hard to refute hard facts and evidence, man. That's why by the time they snatch some people, man, by the time some people get grabbed, man, and they find themselves, in a compromising position, man, it's like, man, they done did their homework on you, man. I think I heard, man, one of the best kids, because look, Scarface, aside from Pac, Scarface was my guy. Scarface was my favorite rapper. But I heard one time, Jay Prince on there, he was doing a skit. He said, man, when they show up and they give you recording and they hear you talking from 200, 300 yards away, crystal clear. And he went on to say some other things. And the way the skit ended was, he said, they get you back behind those doors and behind those walls, and they start applying pressure. He basically said, you know what happened to a little oink oink? They squeal. He said they squeal. They squeal, man. Message that never left me, man, to this day. But like I said, I made myself available. We confirmed, what it is. We eliminated which type, but we definitely have confirmed that it is a duck. That we're not second guessing ourselves about. We have confirmed that. But man, let's enjoy what we getting in boxing, man. Let's be grateful for what we're getting. Let's appreciate what's before us, but let's be responsible when somebody point out something that it's just blatantly obvious, but it just don't make you or the shit that you be representing look good, man. That's all. That's all, man. A little housekeeping. You know what I'm saying? A little non, a little veggie boxing talk party. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of sausage party boxing talk going on. And I'm, some of us are veggie. We like our veggies, man. We're gonna go vegetarian, man. So I'm trying to contribute to where we don't just have sausage party boxing talks, man. We not gonna be in this motherfucker just sword fighting. You know what I'm saying? We not gonna be in this battling over. Y'all had to get me to let me wear the pink knee pads this time. Nah, man. We actually gonna talk some real boxing, man. And our focus really is whether or not, we want. I know at the heart of heart, you're not going to hear this. Because I'm starting to hear a lot of people reporting on boxing, and especially when they come across the pond, you know what they go to is they'll say, well, US fans don't like the way they position this Cordina thing. They said US fans weren't really too happy about it. So that's material for them. So I'm like, okay, well, if it's a place for that, somebody need to be talking about American boxing and have it at the forefront. Why? Because this is where we are. It might shift, like some things might shift, and they're always going to be coming attractions. Like we're in a way, you know, the same place we're in a way in Erie fought was the same place that Buster Douglas and Tyson fought. So it's going to be historical places. You know, Australia where, you know, Jeff Horn, well, what was that? Manny Pacquiao and Jeff Horn, and you know, it's always going to be historically, you know, things across whatever. But like, let's not forget about in our conversations around boxing, like what our real interest is. We want American boxing great again. We do. So in the assessment of that, we got to keep it all the way a buck, man. And so far, a lot of things that Eddie been doing, he been putting money in people's pockets, but we'll see. Hopefully they get this Brian Norman Jr. thing and all that straightened out. You know, they get that handled. It's pretty much this Shakur Stevenson, man. Shakur Silk Sheet Stevenson is fighting Joe Cordina. And from the time he announced being a free agent to the time he talked to Eddie, he was already sold up. I mean, everything. He already in camp. The man already in camp, man. I think this was a plan. And this is why I try to tell y'all all the time, you know, and this is when I really, it really kind of really, I ain't gonna say dawned on me. I'm gonna say it was kind of confirmed, man. Like, I think a lot of the times they be knowing. And my whole message is, don't get played. Don't get played. But yeah, I'm at my I'm right around my 2 hour mark, man. I don't like making them that long anymore because it make them hard for people to sit through it, and they don't know exactly where because it be dense. It be dense with them nutrients, man. It be packed with nutrients, vegetables, fruits and veggies, not that Reggie. But that's it, man. I'm not gonna keep y'all. Thanks for choosing Bodywork Boxing. But we don't take things for face value. We do that body work.
He didn't want to box. He wanted to actually prove that he could punch with you. He was like, what the fuck is this nigga, right? Oh, okay, you want to go to sleep. You tired.
Welcome to Bodywork.